And you're going to take me to the airport, aren't you?
Personality. And once you met Walt, you liked Walt.
Yep.
You know, he was just that way, you know.
Yep.
And they should say that in memory of him, because he did. He had a magnetic personality.
He always made you feel special whenever you see him. David, you know, it's gosh, it's just, you know, and he did that with everyone. It was.
I took a boat out there a couple of times. One time I took it out there and somebody else said it couldn't be fixed properly. And he always worked on black Evan rigs. That's all or Mercury's, black Mercury's. And he had it out there about a day, and I seen him 3 days later. He said, "Oh," he said, "I had that fixed so long ago." He said, "Come on out and get it." He said, he told me what was wrong. He said, "The minute I tried to start it, I knew what was wrong with it. It was something in the ignition." And he's going to give me $40, charge me $40. And I said, "All I got's $100." And he said, "I ain't got no change." I said, "You don't owe me no more." I said, "I've been trying to get this fixed for months." I said, "I'm happy." He says, "I'm taking it off the next motor you bring out here." I said, "No, you're not." That's just the way he was, too. Yeah, he was so cool. But I liked stopping out just to listen to him talk.
He liked to talk, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He was really cool. I liked him in the village market. He'd come around, you know, and get that stuff for them. He cared for them dogs like they're his children.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes he'd have one truck that the doors open and the dogs are all over the seats out there.
They're looking all over for him now.
Yeah.
When I went out there just now,
Well,
they
but
were
them dogs are
just
lost.
running, pulling on their chains and running. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, yesterday I went up to pet one. And he was so happy to see me, and then he smelled me,
it wasn't him.
and it wasn't. Yeah, and he just backed off.
Yeah.
And it was just very,
It's
you know.
hard. It's hard on animals.
Yeah.
They know.
I don't understand.
No.
Well, we'll probably be
Okay.
back.
All right.
11 o'clock is the funeral.
Thanks for sharing.
11.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, come on. All right. You don't have any? Oh, yeah, that's good for us. He doesn't have any.
Does she have any pictures of Walt?
No, her boyfriend.
Oh, her boyfriend.
They said, you know, the pictures here.
God. Take David with you somewhere and he'll take him for you. Bunch of them.
He went with me.
Oh, I hate him.
Taking pictures like that. I know.
Grandma used to have bunch of them here. Buffet at home. I could stand there looking at them.
Is that how she found out her mother died? Is they sent a picture of her mother in a casket to her, to Grandma?
No. Neither her mother or her father, I don't think she had a picture. Oh, I had got a picture of the grave. The niece, Grandma's niece sent me a picture of her mother's grave with all the flowers on it after she was buried. And I've got that. You never did see any of those pictures.
No,
from
I
your,
didn't. I think about it all the time too.
I haven't heard from her for a long time. She wrote and asked me for some money. And I sent her $100 and I told her I really didn't have a lot of money that I could spare. And she says any little bit will help us because she said we're so poor. The country is so bad over here now that she was living, her husband had died, he had a heart attack. She was a retired school teacher living with her daughter, and she says they didn't have money for groceries. And I thought, oh, glad Grandma wasn't alive to hear that, because her heart would just break. She used to send packages to them all the time.
When was this that you did that?
Been about a year ago.
To her family over
Her niece.
in Lithuania?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Helen, could I get an address for them
Yeah,
to send money to them?
I'll give you that. She can look at see the pictures too. If you stop over sometime before you go, if you
Yeah.
find a minute.
And I've got some pictures too that I have that I could make copies of and send to them.
They
with
were
Grandma.
asking about Walt, how big his farm was, and I suppose they thought we were millionaires because we had a farm. To them, I suppose that's a lot of money over there.
Yeah.
I'll give you my address to David.
Helen,
Send her some.
what country is that now? 'Cause
Lithuania.
Is it still where they are?
There are, no, not no more. The, what they call
The
it?
Baltics or the?
No, they,
Oh, isn't that?
when a country breaks off and becomes itself again. Just about 5 years ago, they
Yeah.
did
Oh,
that.
really?
I don't know what you call it.
They're independent.
They
or
freed
whatever.
themselves
Yeah.
from communist control, and I think that's why they're so poor now, because there's nobody to help. Of course, they were poor before.
Are you Catholic?
No, I probably should be. 'cause my-
Grandma's Catholic, right?
Yeah, Grandma. But I think when they moved here and they were so poor and they didn't have the clothes and they didn't have a car to go to church with, Grandma says, oh heck, praying at home is just as good as going to the church to pray. And I think it's true.
You know, Helen, looking at the pictures of them from the old country, the kinds of clothes that they were dressed so beautifully.
Mhm.
And you just wonder, in such a poor country, where they get those.
They had one outfit, one good outfit. That's all they had. That's all. I remember Heidenreich. You remember him when he was here in town?
Reverend Heinrich, yeah.
He said anybody that has more than one good outfit is actually sinning.
Me.
Oh,
He said you
Sorry.
need one outfit to go to funerals and to church in, and you need
That's okay.
a couple old outfits for every day, and that's all the clothes you need. The rest of it, he said, is greedy and stuff. And I think that's how they felt. Grandma and Grandpa, they had one outfit they could wear to the doctor, and the rest of it was just dirty old clothes.
how many relatives are over there yet that are related?
Oh, there's a nephew that wrote to me for a long time, and I didn't hear from him anymore. And he said his son was an electrician, and he was semi-retired electrician. And his name was Stanley, too. So you have to read the
Strange.
letters to kind of catch up with them.
Yeah, and last I knew there was some in Chicago too.
There is? I didn't
Grandma
know
used to
that.
talk about how there were some that lived in Chicago.
You have to fly out there, David.
Well, my grandpa's brother used
Lithuania?
to live there, and he hung himself. He got blind, his wife died when he was in his 90s, and he lived in an upstairs apartment,
This would have been his family then.
his
yeah.
family.
Yes, it would have been his family.
And I think they're all out, and there's one son and two daughters, Irene and, what was the, I've got the
Hey, dude.
name right down. He lived in Arizona.
How are you doing? You okay?
They're both. Yeah, they used to call Teresa a princess because she's a
Full
blue
blood
blood.
Lithuanian.
Yeah, blue blood. Lithuanian on both sides. So that's what she used to say.
Who?
Teresa used to say that she was a.
Good.
Oh, that's right, her dad was Lithuanian too. Hi, Larry.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm just,
Randy Brooke is coming by at like 4:30 or so, and we're going to go to M&M Grill or something with him.
Yeah.
Are you going to be here through that time, or are you going to leave, or what?
I don't know.
She's going to Glen Oaks half days and the high school half days. Yeah. She had all the classes that she needed at the high school, So this way the high school's paying.
She's out of school.
No, this is her.
Hi. How are you?
Mike Davis.
David Marcus.
Hi.
Meet you.
Hi, Ed. Hi. How are you? Pretty good.
Well, you have to put it up in butter. One cheese.
Tyler, I think it's important that you meet all of these people, that you be here. It's only about 6 more hours. So,
I was like, what?
Gee, Dad.
Oh, thanks for offering, but I gotta go.
I'm not sure what's playing up there. What do you let him watch?
yeah, he's cool.
He's old enough now that
He knows the difference.
we don't go to ours.
Okay.
We do go to PG's.
PG-13 is fine.
Yeah, that's right.
Actually, PG-12 is kind of like where I like to cut it off with him.
PG-12. I prefer PG-14. No.
Well, I didn't, he was born before.
Sure.
I'm Frank Smith.
Christine's or Lisa's.
What's that?
How's Christine and the other kids doing?
She's had her hands full because Corey's got a ear infection and
Well,
Eli's not
Lance
sleeping through the night, so she's
Was
really
your oldest sister, right?
Oh.
had a rough couple days. Other than that, we're doing fine in general.
Stanley's
But
the oldest.
Ed was born after he come down here, right?
No?
Are you the one that had the paint store downtown?
Grand Rapids, I was born there.
Yeah, but you had the paint store
I didn't
in
have,
Sturgis for a while, didn't you?
no, I didn't have no
Mr.
store.
Colassa,
Colossi had the paint store.
Oh, I see.
Smith Alsop.
Smith Allsop, yeah. I think that Smith Allsop paint, that was Mike Colossi, but
Oh, Mike Kloss, yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
A neighbor.
Oh, okay. Because I know I met you but I built, well, when your mother was still alive, I knew her. I think I come to her funeral back, but I built Walt a building, and then he built, he repaired some machinery for me. I got acquainted with it quite well, but I knew
which
Stan.
building? That pole barn or?
Yeah,
You built that pole barn? Okay.
yeah, out there on Blossom Road, just around
Yeah,
the corner,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm David Marcus. I'm Walt's nephew.
Oh,
And
how do you do?
I lived out my summers out on the farm for probably 7 or 8 years growing up.
Oh,
so,
did you really?
Yeah.
I see,
I think it was 1970 when the barn burned down,
yeah.
and that pole barn was up within a year, I
Yeah,
think,
well,
after that.
Well, Stanley was the same age as my older brother, and Blanche was the same age. They all went to school together at a place called Diamond School up at Victory Township, and up by Ludington, Michigan.
Huh.
They lived right across the road from.
How did they
My
end up in
folks.
Ludington?
They went there from Chicago,
Yeah,
loaded up on a truck and what they could carry and the furniture and the
I
kids.
don't know how many years they were there. I was just a young guy then.
Grandma
Yeah.
stayed in Chicago and worked and Grandma.
Here's a patriotic man.
I know this guy real well here.
Why, I couldn't see him for the
I
tie.
ought to buy you.
It was Red and White Day, and Marilyn said, "You got a brand new flag tie. Wear that one for Red and White
Well,
Day."
I DJ for the senior centers, you know, for the dances and we red, white, and blue. But I didn't have. I got a white shirt and a red shirt and blue pants. see?
You're on.
And I got red socks. See?
Yep, that's won't ask about the drawers. That's okay.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Hi,
Stan ain't
I'm
here
David
yet,
Marcus.
David, I'm
You're
David.
David Farrell. Nice to meet you. I was looking
Yeah.
forward to
How
talking
are
to
you?
you. So.
You've been outside, your hands are cold.
Well, I just come in. My hands are always cold
This is
anyway.
Walter's brother, Edward.
Davis, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't meet? Okay. This is Ed Marcus. This is my mom, Hazel.
And I'm his sister, Walt's youngest sister, only sister.
Only sister.
Yep.
Alrighty. Oh my. Hello.
Some morning when you're not subbing, come down, we'll go down to the Express. They'd like you to inventory that stuff that you want. How
are you?
Hello, good.
Good to see you.
Yeah, red, white,
Yeah.
blue on tonight. When we're going to dance,
You
I could buy you a tie.
somebody wants to meet. Somebody wants to talk to you. Hi.
Oh, they do.
This guy right here,
Hi.
This is hi.
God is big.
Yeah. Tyler didn't make it last fall. Remember
How you doing?
No.
when we came out? So
Gail, I have to stop and think for a minute.
Growing fast.
Where's your dad?
Where's my dad?
Where's your
and
My husband did not get home in time.
Mr. Smith, Stanley Marcus.
Oh, this is Stanley then, yeah. Well, that would, I was just telling him about Stan.
You recognize me? I'm Mary Ann Nightingale. Hammond.
I couldn't figure out who you were. I knew your face right away, but I
Look
couldn't.
like my mother, right?
Yeah, I know you're real good now, but I couldn't place where you was
Hi,
at.
Marion. How are you?
Remember
Oh,
when you was in
good to see you.
And I couldn't figure out who you were.
I'm David. I'm Walt's nephew, and my dad is Ed Marcus right here. Okay.
Stan and his sister Blanche, they lived right across the road from my dad's place up in Ludington, Michigan. Back years ago, yeah.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, Victor Township. You remember Orton and Tekla Smith?
Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Good meeting you too. Thank you for that.
You're the youngest one.
No, Paul was
a Hammond.
Paul was the same age as Walt. Walt was born up there just shortly after. Oh, I met you. I've been over talking to you and everything else.
Giles, Cornelius,
Giles, yeah.
and Mary, Marie,
Marie, yeah.
there was Harold,
Harold, yeah.
and Frank.
Yeah, I'm Frank.
That's you, Frank. And Paul was the youngest one.
Walt was, yeah, him and Walt was the same. Well, he was a year, Walt was 77. You and Giles is 83.
Who's that?
You and Giles, huh?
I made the six.
Well, then you were Neil's age.
Yeah, Neil.
You were Neil's age, because Blanche was Murray's age, wasn't
We
she?
called him Neil, but when I was talking to him, I always say Cornelius.
Yeah, his name was Cornelius, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Well, I'll be.
now how's come you're
And
here?
I never
I
visited.
should know you,
Oh, sure you do. Marion.
Huh?
Your name is Marion?
right?
Yeah, see? And this is Stan. My name is Frank Smith. I'm the one that, well, I built Walt's pole barn and I got acquainted with Walt real well when I seen your name Marcus one time. And I said, well, I know that name because I said they lived right across the road from my folks' place back years ago.
Hey, Frank,
They went to school here.
tell them about how many Smiths there are and why they have their names in the... Tell them.
Tell them you. Well, you know why there's so many Smiths in the phone books, Dan?
I can't remember names
Well,
today.
I guess you're responsible.
No, they all got telephones. That's why there's so many.
That's something. Now, I never knew you lived around here.
I did. I went
You don't get
over
it?
to your place. In fact,
You know why there's so many Smiths
I'm the guy that
in the phone book?
live out here.
They all have telephones.
That's why their
I'm
names.
86. Yeah.
It's a stupid joke. It's pretty...
So I didn't get it.
You live on Hacker Road
Yeah.
there.
Hi.
Yeah,
Hi.
I've been over to your
I'm
place.
Stanley
I-
Atkinson.
Stanley, I'm David. I'm David Marcus, the nephew. David this big the last time we saw.
Oh, yes, my wife Pat.
Hi, Pat. Yeah. Stanley, I was thinking about you yesterday. I haven't seen you in 25, 30 years.
At least.
I was thinking, I swear to God, I was thinking about you yesterday. Oh.
What were you thinking of?
I was wondering where you were, if you were alive, if you're fine. I mean, because I remember you were so good to Grandma, and you bought your mother by what was your mom's name? Eva Atkinson. And
My mother would come and stay for several days.
Oh yeah, and I
Two of them would talk and talk, and then when my mother came home, she'd tell me what they all talked about, you know.
And for days and days she'd tell you. But you know, I was staying out on the farm then, and I would sit and listen. They'd be speaking, either Russian or Lithuanian. And I never understood a thing they said. Every once in a while they'd break off to talk to me a little bit, but it was so...
But you know, it was very unusual. Your grandmother's maiden name was not really a Lithuanian name to me, not familiar to me. Like Drzewiecz. It was like a Polish name more.
Yeah.
Your grandmother wasn't Polish, was she? I can't.
I'd have to find
Started with the letter D.
D-Y.
Yeah.
Dwiskix. It sounded Polish, didn't it to you? Sort of Polish?
Well, I did until.
But you know this probably that. Well, I don't know whether I want to tell you this whole story or not. But when I was born at home, and the doctor was a Polish doctor, Dr. Malakowski. And when he had my birth certificate, when I got my birth certificate years and years later, Kachunas was our Lithuanian name. Atkochunas. The birth certificate was CZ, which is the Polish spelling. My parents spoke such good Polish that he thought we were Polish. So he spelled it Atkochunas, the Polish way.
I'll be darned.
See, they had to learn Polish because Lithuanian was illegal.
We did something else, I can't remember what we were.
In the Russian, when it was controlled by Russia.
And if you went to communion or confession,
And in order to go to church, in order to learn the catechism, you had to learn Polish. And so they learned Polish, and they spoke Polish, but not at home. At home, they spoke Lithuanian.
Wow. What a world, huh?
Yeah. And if you were caught with Lithuanian books before 1907, I think, something like that, they'd send you off to Siberia. It was a capital crime for possessing Lithuanian books. And there were smugglers who would bring them from East Prussia. Isn't that strange? You know, to us it's such a strange.
And when did you come here?
Oh, I was born
You
in
were born
Chicago.
here. When did your parents come over?
My mother came in 1914, just before the war started, a couple of months before the war started. My father was here about 1912.
Okay.
Yeah. And they knew each other there, but when he left there, she was young yet. She was a teen, you know, like 14 or something like that. He was already 18, so she was a kid.
Isn't that funny how you think that way?
There's a few years difference.
You know, I have such fond memories of you. You were so nice, so eloquent, always so well dressed. I'm serious. You were just such a charming man. So.
I used to. I think you don't know when Walter went in the army.
45 and 46.
40.
Yeah, he went in pretty late. 40. Was it 44 that Walt went in?
Ed.
I can write either way now.
Now you smile.
I want to write upside down.
Ed Marcus.
You're 86 years old. Met you at the doctor's office, you remember?
Oh yeah.
About a year ago.
I get along all right.
Didn't
I know right where you're at, I'm gonna be over to see you one of these days. Just for the fun of it, we'll have some coffee.
Thanks for coming.
He and I were in that.
Mr. Smith, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, same to you, sir.
There's some that left St. Joe County. all in
Hi, Stanley.
one.
How are you, huh?
Oh, I'm pretty good.
Good.
I'm old, but
You're old.
I have a hard time getting around compared to what I used to
I was
do.
just telling somebody the other day. I said,
But you're still cutting wood and still milking cows?
I'm cutting wood and milking cows, just helping out. And taking bales of hay, I can't pick them up and throw them like I did. I have,
you know, the
if
baling wire.
the bales say 50, 60 pounds, I can pick it up and walk just a little ways with it, but I can't work on a load or anything to keep up with everybody. I have to drag it, you might say, just to do anything.
Yeah. She had 35. He had 37 radiation treatments. Where'd you have it done?
How's it feeling?
No, Kalamazoo.
Seems good.
Yeah, I thought it was all right.
Seems good. I think they got all the bad stuff taken care of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks good.
Your brother Stanley, right?
Yep.
I haven't seen you. Stanley Atkinson.
Oh, for God's sakes, what the hell's the matter with me? Why? I know you right now when you tell me.
Of course.
It's been about 25 years or more, hasn't it? Since I
Now,
seen-
which one of your daughters? Well, you had 2 daughters. They went to school here. In
I had one, Janet.
That's the one. Was she and Kathy, or our daughter
I don't
Kathy,
know,
or
that
daughter
name
Eileen?
Jen doesn't.
Janet, I remember that. I remember.
Is that your wife?
That's my wife, Pat.
Well, what the hell? Why didn't you say something? You must have known me.
Well, she isn't standing around. She isn't standing around.
I couldn't figure out who you were, but I know your face. But I was trying to figure it out.
You know, I haven't seen you in
Oh God, maybe
50
must be
years.
40 years.
50 years.
For 50 years, yeah. It's been a long
Oh,
time.
God.
And
We never ran into each other.
now it sounds crazy, but when I read in the paper I read the obituaries and all of that, and I never seen your name, and I was thinking, you know, just a couple of days back, your name wasn't in there. And then I was thinking about your sisters, but they passed away quite a while ago.
Yeah.
I read that in, well, there was a Willard Frost. You probably know him,
Yes,
delivered
yes.
mail.
Yeah, I know him.
I read where he died a few years back. And then there was a girl from Sturgis. Can't think of her name now, but my folks bought the farm from her grandfather. And they used to be her grandfather was Ford dealer in Sturgis. And it was right across the street from where Montgomery Ward used to be on the corner there.
Dickinson.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Hey, I got a question to ask you. How much did those horses weigh? Those big Belgian horses that you had? They were the biggest horses that I'd ever seen, draft horses.
Well, about 1,700 is all they weighed. They wasn't that. They just looked back.
All of our horses were small. We had these from the stockyards in Chicago. And they were parked Mustangs. Some of them were even branded.
The Westerns.
Yeah, and they were terrible.
Broncos.
They kicked
Hi, Marion.
and bite and everything else.
How are you?
Yeah, you look.
Good to see you.
Oh, I'm all shook up, put it that way.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
one,
sugar. This is,
well, that one.
I was telling your dad, last time I seen Walt, he looked so good. Good color, eyes were bright, looked happy and everything.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
Christmas
help from
time.
somebody, I don't know.
He come over and brought some stuff to us from Helen, from Aunt Helen. And he looked so good, and well, it's better this way than him suffering.
Yeah.
And being unconscious and everything, that's it.
Yep.
And I was just telling Dad, you're good, that it takes something like this to bring people together. Everybody comes to see him, and he done something, put it that way. He done something, he brought everybody together.
Yeah. Yep. He sure did.
She let the other horse do the work. And she was
We
smart.
used to tease back and forth, Walt and I, we used to tease each other back and forth. I didn't call it teasing, I call it communicating.
Yeah.
He'd communicate with me, and I'd communicate back with him. And I lost my front teeth.
Wow.
How are you?
You can have new ones put in if you want.
Yes, I remember.
No, what were you saying?
Very well.
I heard it's too much pain and trouble to have them put back in.
Oh, well, we're getting
They give you a shot and it hurt which hurts and then you're
A lot of
fine.
money, a lot of pain.
I remember when
Well, if you want them,
At my age, I can't take the shots.
no?
I was trying to figure out who you were.
Filling put in one time,
Somebody
and
I
then
know.
he passed out
I couldn't place
from the shot.
Shot?
Yeah.
Well, newer dentists know how to give shots without hurting you.
Well, I mean, I almost passed.
The Novocaine was bad for your system?
Novocaine.
Oh.
Yeah, Novocaine, yeah.
Oh, it wasn't from pain, it was from the effect. Oh.
Novocaine.
Well, my problem
I wasn't communicating so well, put it that way.
Yeah.
He put give me a smelling salts and didn't help any. And finally they give me a drink of water, and that
So what did
helped
Walt
revive
have?
me. So I'm afraid of Novocaine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for coming to tell me.
ambulance anyway. They see a lot of them, so.
Well,
Now, the last I knew you were.
I recognized your voice right away on the phone.
Did you? Yeah, I know. You always, I say hi, Marion, you say David. All I have to do is say hi, Marion, you say hi, David.
Yeah. I recognize you.
Yeah, I've been retired, what is it, 11 years now?
that's something. That's impossible. But you know, that was 19 years ago, December, that we moved back to Colon from Landis.
How many years ago?
Yeah.
19 years.
Can't.
Good.
I know, that's
That's
what I
what
said.
I thought
We left the
you
church.
said 19.
Yep, we left the
I
church
couldn't believe it, my own
after
years,
New Year's of 19 years ago.
Good heavens.
Doesn't seem possible. No, it doesn't seem possible.
No.
But it's been 31 years since I went, you know. I was just a kid then. All right, so I was in my 30s, but
Now, Hughes is there.
where are you from, David?
Living in California now.
Oh,
So
Tommy's
I
still
was
alive. Marion
grew up
died
here.
some years
Spent all of
ago.
my
Sam
spent all of my summers out here on the farm, working with Grandma and Walt. I mean, they practically raised me during the summers, and all of my values that I learned working on that farm have stayed with me. And so it's I've been gone since '78 in California, but I come back all the time. I always come back to see Walt. In fact, I brought the family back last October just to be here for his birthday. So we came back and surprised him. And
how neat. Aren't you glad you did?
oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to have borne it, I think, had I not.
Yeah.
But I'm just mad at him because
It's just absolutely amazing. Yeah. Are you going to do some of the eulogy then?
I'd like to.
Okay.
I'd like to. He was so important in the building of my whole value, my life's values. I really want to be able to say something.
That's good. Glad to have you. Yeah. Fifth many times. Fourth grade, I was there 12 years.
Yeah.
Fourth grade.
He is an honor student. He had a 4.0.
Wonderful.
So he's
That's wonderful.
Congressman in in our district in California made a presentation to the school, and I was so proud of him.
Yeah, that's great.
Right?
Thanks.
Yeah, that's cool. No, actually, I've been at school for 57 years, and I'm still in elementary school. Does that make sense? In fact, I was in first, second, fifth, and sixth today.
Yeah. He's a teacher.
I'm really retired, but I can hardly stay away. So
That's good.
they had a maternity leave came up for 7 weeks, and so I said, "Oh yes, I would love to do that for 7 weeks." Yeah. Plus, I don't have the paperwork and all that you normally are bogged down with.
Did you hear Mr. Smith
Yes.
quizzing people as to why there's so many Smiths in the phone book?
No, I didn't hear that part. No.
Do you know why there's so many Smiths in the phone book? They all have telephones.
Good one.
I see it a little myself. Look in the mirror, but I don't look in. What the hell's the matter with me? I was thinking him being small.
You lost so much hair up there you can't recognize him.
I look distinguished now.
I just wasn't thinking. I asked Ed, Dad, is David going to be here?
Well, I'm here.
I'm mixed up in my thinking. It was a heck of a shock when Nell called and told me that. And it just didn't sink in yet. It's just starting to sink in today more that he's actually gone.
It's unbelievable. Like mass production.
It's going to be different.
Because he was always working.
That's a big part of my coming home. It was always to run out to the farm and see Grandma and see Walt.
You was
know?
there a lot there.
Oh, yeah.
You stayed there quite a bit.
For quite a few years, all summer long.
Yeah.
He taught me run all that machinery, and I was doing everything.
I'm pretty sure he and I went
You could be a farmer if you
I
wanted
could be.
to.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, but he wasn't making any money.
There's no money in the farm.
You know, he's got
It's just that personal satisfaction of knowing that you almost made money.
Well, if you can hold on to the property, there's money when you sell it.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Somebody who wants it, needs it, that's all. But the price of corn now, it's less than $2. But here, the farmers advance it come up 25 cents a bushel on their price. And it's at 2 1/4. Most of the time it was $1.95. It was a little less than that for a while. And you can't raise it for that.
nice to have it.
If the price of machinery was the same as it was years back, then you could get along. But that's the labor unions and everything that raised the price on machinery. And the people that make it, they can't help it. It's the workers that get up there, and Congress is giving a lot of help to farmers, but still it isn't enough. Disasters stuff and all that,
There's so many things you wanted to ask.
you can get paid, but that still doesn't make up for it. When the times are good, just for the year that you have a loss, why, then it helps.
But you have to be frugal in the good years, or you have nothing in the bad years.
Yeah, that's it.
I remember Grandpa said when, about early, maybe 1975, when he was still farming, he said, you know, I made more in 1917 than I'm gonna make this year on my corn.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right.
After the World War
I
I.
wasn't farming in 17 there,
Right.
but I've read of what
The prices were better.
Wheat was over $4 a bushel, and corn was way the heck up there, way over $3, double the price of what it is now.
Yeah.
So, but there's horses was mostly then, but if it was tractors, was
Yes, Mary.
Here's for the rescue squad.
Oh, good. Right.
Do I have to write anything on the front of it?
You could write, you know, from the Stanley Marcus family.
From what?
You just put from the Stanley Marcus family.
Oh, okay.
well, they've got tractors now. I see them all.
Talking about Walt being in the army and stuff, he went in the same day he did.
What?
The wheels are taller than us.
The way I remember it, we were that whole group that went to
I
Centerville.
went to Texas when I left,
The good ones.
and it took 4 days to get there. Cattle train, they'd stop and
Yeah.
every field,
When did you go in?
1950 to 54.
So you went in the same time Walt did?
I think that we were in that whole group that left from here, and it was,
That
where
picture
could
of
we
the
find
family
out?
on the bus.
I wonder if there's any newspaper. Where do you live
Plus, a lot
now?
of the
I'm in
young,
California.
Start
I'm back and
having
forth
big
a lot, and there will be more now.
if you're gonna be
I
successful,
wonder
you
if
have
the
to be so
files
satisfied with less to
of
start with.
the Three Rivers commercial or the Sturgis Journal.
How about the Coal Express?
Yeah, but
They lived here a long
Sturgis
time.
Journal's in his basement of his
But I
house.
don't know about the Coal Express.
All
It
these
doesn't
journals?
even exist anymore.
The Sturgis Journal,
Still
the
is.
Sturgis
The what?
Journal.
Coal
Yeah,
Express.
he's got the whole thing in his basement.
Still there,
Still there?
once a week or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's still there. Oh, we don't get it, see.
well, this is the way I remember it, but I can't guarantee it. But I think that, I know that there was this whole group of 170 or some, including West Saxman. And we all went to Centerville, and we went by to Detroit, and we stayed overnight. Took one step forward, you know. Remember, you took one step forward. We swore you into the army.
They said
Well, that's what they did. Then we went to
they
Fort
had a
Sheridan.
draft holiday before I got drafted again. They shut it off. I had my papers and everything to go, and get ready to go, and I got another telegram in the mail
She
said
gone?
that it's canceled.
Yeah, she,
Okay, well then a couple of years later, then in 1950, well then they took me in there to the Air Force.
very
It's either 2 years in the Army or 4 years in the Air Force, and I took the 4 years in the Air Force.
Yeah.
So you're saying you one step forward, sworn
If
in.
you're sworn in, you take one step forward. If you don't, I don't know what happens to you.
They go to jail.
Did you take a bus?
What's Joe's last
Getting on a bus?
At Centerville.
Because there is a picture of Walt standing in front of this bus with a whole group of guys, and we wondered if that's when.
That's it, at Centerville, right.
Okay.
That's them on their way in.
That's-
yeah.
And he had
And we went
top
to-
hat, a dress coat and everything. He was all dressed up, so.
Yeah, I don't know why we were all dressed up, but, because then we sent that back. As soon as we got in the Army, we sent all this.
Stanley, you need to have a picture of this, a copy of this.
Rich,
Was it?
Chuck and Rich.
You were probably in that picture.
Oh,
Or does
Yeah,
that mean
maybe.
the same
Now,
thing?
where
there
is
are so
that?
many of us.
Two different names.
Is that at Mom's?
And
That picture? No, no, it's at your, you didn't,
Okay.
it's at your house.
I'll have to bring that.
Okay, then from
I don't know how to spell it.
Fort Wayne in Detroit,
B-E.
we went by train, and we went through Marcellus, through Battle Creek,
I'm wrong.
Marcellus, Cassopolis to Chicago. And the Parmalee transfer took us to the elevated, the North Shore electric train, and took us to Fort Sheridan. And we stayed several days in Fort Sheridan while they decided where to send us, I guess. And then we went to Camp Walters, Texas, at Mineral Wells, Texas. I'm sure Walt was in there. Same place. Then after this basic training, and this was like the last days of July. Yeah, last days of July. The thing is, why I'm not sure is they lost my papers. And when I was discharged, I had to tell them when I went in the Army and everything. And I should have said 1940.
Yeah.
They wouldn't know. Papers were lost.
Yeah.
Weren't thinking it.
Yeah. But my brain was, I was so glad to get out. Anyway, so that's why I'm kind of leery. Even if I look at my discharge that I have, I'm not sure that that's correct.
Stanley, were you in the war then? Were you in Europe?
Yeah, I was in the infantry. I was a rifleman, and I was wounded in Cologne. But anyway, let's get back to Walt. After our basic, he was in a different battalion there at Camp Walters than I was. And I was in one, and then they shifted me to another battalion, basic training. And then we were home for Christmas.
Did Walt come home for Christmas?
Yes. Yeah, we all came at the same time. And we came on a train from, and it was a cotton belt route, and they went along the Mississippi River. I mean, Texas came that way, and it would get off on a siding, and we'd get off the train, we were out in the country on a siding, and we said, what are we doing here, just standing still? And pretty soon, United Fruit Express refrigerator cars with bananas hauling from New Orleans to Chicago would zoom past us. And then we'd go again. And we'd go another 50 miles and we'd stop for another banana train to go by us. We were less important than the bananas.
Right.
And after being home, we had this, we got on a train where I don't remember. I should be able to remember. I can't.
Why?
And went to Fort Meade, Maryland, and then to Boston, to Camp Miles Standish outside of Boston. And then we got on a ship at Boston, and it was the 15th of January. Oh, we were on the train going from Fort Meade, Maryland to Camp Miles Standish in Massachusetts on New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, our train was stopped in the station, Broad Street Station in Philadelphia, and all the soldiers and it was midnight, were kissing their girls and everything. Here we were in this train. A whole bunch of us started to walk off the train, and there was an armed guard there. He said, "You're not going. You wouldn't shoot, would you?" "That's my orders. You're staying on this train." Walt was on that, and on that ship, I'm almost positive, unless we got separated at Fort Meade, Maryland. That I'm not sure of.
Walt shared an interesting story last October, and he's watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and one of the questions was, what was the name of the ship that came to be known as the War Bride ship?
Oh, yeah.
And Walt said, he told me a story of when he and several battalions were ready to come back, and they got stopped at the dock, right, to board the ship, and all of a sudden all these women come, and they're the war brides. I guess it was some political gesture to look good, and he said, "By God, there they are, all those goddamn women are coming on the ship, and we got to sit there for another 2 weeks waiting for our next ship. We're the ones that were there fighting," and all these women, he was... Yeah, and he knew the name of that ship, by the way. And wasn't that funny? That took Regis and his show to kind of break that memory loose, and he told that so explicitly. It's like it happened yesterday.
He's all worked up again, I guess.
Yeah. Walt didn't talk much. He didn't.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
We've been going now for quite a few years to a reunion And it's just this one company, Company A, 36th Armored Infantry Regiment. And
Randy's going to come, so I'm
everybody's
just going
trying
to stay
talk
here
now
throughout,
they're
so I'll
older
see you later then.
and
All right.
reminiscent. But before I want
Randy,
to talk about it,
we're going to go over and eat here in Colon. Randy Brooks is coming. And I'm going to spend an hour and a half with him, and Tyler's going to go with Larry.
But they're interesting stories too.
Deborah's Larry to
They
pick up the
are.
boys and go ahead tonight.
So this group
and
that
I've
gets,
never talked to my kids about my
They
war
don't, they,
experiences or
they
anything.
wouldn't know anything. You don't.
But it's the past, you know. Just
But you know,
but it's history too,
but-
and it
Yeah, but
shaped
now-
the country.
Stanley,
the way
what's so important is it's these new generations to understand. To them, it's like a video game, a war, right? And they don't realize that people were dying and maimed and wounded and scared for their life every single moment
separated
of their
from
existence.
families and
And they just don't realize why we have a country today. And you see all what's going on now. Poor Johnny Walker's coming back, and set Johnny Walker free, the American Taliban, right? I mean, it's
They don't know.
it's just very, very disconcerting to see the fabric of our country slowly unraveling. And I think
Tom Brokaw, when he wrote that book, did a great thing for the older people.
do you have a card, or do you give me your address?
Yes.
And if I think of something, there's something way back in my mind that I'm trying to recall right now about Walt. I can't do it. I'll write to you. And tell you.
there's a new book. It's called War Letters.
Oh,
Letters
I've seen it,
to
yeah.
home from the Civil War up through Vietnam.
Do you have any V-mail?
V-mail.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I have a piece.
What is V-mail? Is that?
That's what you wrote to the boys overseas.
Oh.
Almost
Was it
transparent,
special?
yeah.
Special piece of paper.
Yeah, and it said V-mail on
Yeah,
it.
it said V-mail. And then
I
all
even
those
think I
were
have an
opened up
envelope.
and photographed.
Yeah.
And they shipped them overseas on a roll of film, and then you got the
You got the little piece of paper.
little piece of paper afterwards.
You couldn't write a long letter, believe me.
That's what V-mail was.
It's only about this big.
So the actual letter didn't go overseas.
Yeah.
It was a photostatic copy,
Yeah.
miniaturized, and then they enlarged it.
Wow.
Do you want me to get a
Yeah.
paper?
But I'll give you my card though. And are you going to be back? Do you think tomorrow or possibly or?
What time is the funeral?
It's at 11. So, I mean, I know you're here paying your respects, and that's what was important. So, but I'll give you my card right now. So I'd like to stay in touch. So.
In case I think of, there's something back in my mind that's bothering me that I'm trying to recall, but I can't.
Now, tell David about
About Walt.
the Jeep. He used to drive a Jeep and all. So
Oh,
he
yeah.
didn't hear that.
That Jeep, right? Yeah.
He's sitting on that Jeep because he was the driver of that Jeep.
Yeah. Didn't he like carry munitions or something to the?
You know, I don't know. By that time, we had been separated. And I think he was on the same ship that I was on, going overseas.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a...
But then, after he was wounded, you don't know anything.
No. But I wasn't with him when he was wounded.
Yeah.
We'd already been separated somewhere along the line.
And Stanley, you were wounded as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
But
went there last night and took x-ray of the injured shot.
where we were separated, I don't know.
Okay, well, you do
That's what I'm
some
trying to
thinking
recall.
some
Yeah.
other time. Keep repeating that. We don't
Yeah.
know.
Now, these people that you get together with for the reunion, were they who you went into the service with, or were they just
One,
people you used to work with?
I went in as a replacement, and they were already there, or they came in as a replacement the way I did.
Still hungry?
And one fellow from Wisconsin, he died several years ago. He was the only one that came to the reunions. And then this summer, when we went out to Laughlin, Nevada for a reunion, I recognized another fellow who was in my squad. It was really easy to recognize him. He was a full-blooded Shoshone Indian. He was the only Shoshone Indian around. So, it was great to see him. And
We have a good one coming up. It's going to be in Washington, D.C. Yes. I just hope that we can go see things now that things are up in the air.
yeah, we could probably only have tours of the White House.
I'll see you.
So,
When I see you later tonight.
We got get a hold of our congressman, see if we can get into Congress or get a VIP. They say if you ask, sometimes you can get a tour. The Capitol or something.
Sometimes, too. Well, we do have a good time. See people going all the time, but see getting less and less.
Ow, you just shocked me.
Hey. What's that?
Those are wonderful. I think.
Oh, this is, I can go into a video mode.
What's out there that
Yep,
Isn't that something?
yep. Yep, they sure are.
I know some of the funeral homes now have where you go in and they put on a video all of your photos, like we have them still here, but now they have them so you can go in and watch a video of it
Okay.
when they're done with it.
Yeah.
Get a copy. So that if you had just one set of family photos.
So he was 20 years old, wasn't
No, I'm gonna stay here and take Tyler to lunch. Okay.
See, I'm older.
We're the same age.
I was 24.
Senior officer.
4 years. I'm 4 years old.
Doesn't seem much like much now, does it? 4 years.
Isn't that something? The Army serial numbers being that close.
That would be on your dog tag, right?
Yeah.
That number.
Just want to know where your dog tag is. Do you have it? I don't think I've ever seen it. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Gosh, Deborah, I can't believe I forgot the dog tags. That would have been so good to have worn those.
So is he.
Yeah.
An awful lot of people had a Purple Heart, boy. Way back then. Get well, ship you back for another one. Get another Purple Heart, ship you back.
Recycle you, huh?
Yep, that's right. We know people had more than one Purple Heart.
Oh. Yeah.
Silver stars and bronze.
Yep.
Walt had 3 Bronze Stars. Do you have any idea?
I have one.
Do you what kind of thing? What kind of acts were those passed out for?
Well, it's for something beyond the usual, you know. Yeah.
Putting yourself in a
More dangerous position.
Yeah.
But I wonder if he. What I was wondering about was he deferred because he was farming like I was, and then we decided that we were going to enlist, but we couldn't enlist. You had to take voluntary induction. That doesn't ring a bell. You never heard him mention
No.
that. Okay, well that's. If he was 20, didn't they draft everybody right out of high school?
Sure.
Pretty
They
much.
did. They did in the early 40s.
So I bet he was deferred because he was farming, and I bet he took voluntary induction the way I did. Yeah. So we don't have any proof of that, as far as I can find. There's no proof of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that's another interesting thing to find out about. Who cares?
You go back, there's always.
Hi, Marion.
David?
Yes?
Where'd your uncle go?
Oh,
don't tell me.
You know what? I think he went to have a beer. He's down at the tavern.
I'll bet you
Ah,
Yeah, he went to have a beer down at Curly's. Yeah. Nah.
Can I go with Andrea to Curly's? I'm special.
To Curly's?
Yeah. That's all it is. It's just I'm special.
go check on him.
And he misses me.
I wonder if there's any records of anything in Centerville on the draft board, or is all that stuff been thrown away?
Where would he be having his beer?
If you want to, then yeah, you can go with him if you want. Marion, he's not having a beer. I'm just kidding. I'm not sure where he is. He might be outside talking to Dad.
Tell me that again now.
He's probably outside talking to Dad.
Oh, okay. I was hoping he'd come and get me when he
Well, come on. I'll walk you out. We'll go find him, okay?
Thank you.
Oh, if I would go, please don't go to the movie.
I'm not so.
And it was several months after the invasion.
It's like yeah, I don't know. You know, we're gonna become cannibalistic if we don't eat the.
You don't know about it. You don't know you're gonna like it.
So just
See, you guys do carving right here. See his carving?
Yep.
Yeah.
So did you ever get shot down at all, or did you?
No, I got hit. I got this here, and I got my leg, and got my arm.
Could you write your name and number for me? I'd like to stay in touch with you. But I never heard of anyone flying 126 missions.
My right name is Miller D. Harvey. That's all my missions, though, not just there. That's all.
Okay.
See, I had 3 years, almost 3 years in Korea.
Did you fly some of the deep bombing runs into Berlin and what have you?
No, not Berlin, Burma.
Burma. Oh, so you were in the Pacific campaign?
Yeah, right. 621 Maple Street. I'll give him my phone number too.
Okay.
Dean Harvey, Howard Harvey. Howard, he's up north.
Uh-huh.
There's Melvin, he's in Tennessee. That's my address right there.
Okay. Could I take your picture?
Castleman.
Okay. Okay.
She probably don't remember. She's the one that had her girl got hit in the car.
Yeah.
Sturgis, wasn't she?
Yeah. So did you know Truckee?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, he got the restaurant over by Fisher Lake now.
Does he?
Yeah.
Because I know Walt used to hang out in Leonidas quite a bit. And,
Yeah.
Bob.
Well, there's quite a few truckies though.
Yeah. I think this is Bob Truckee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Bob
if he's still
Truckee.
around or not.
Yeah. Yeah, he's around too. Yeah, he's a Fish Lake. He owns Fish Lake over 3 years now.
Okay.
Up at 60.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of course, I think he's been divorced 3 times.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Now, I know you think Walt was my brother. I'm his nephew.
his
Walt was my nephew. My dad is Walt's brother.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's Walt's brother right there with the glasses, Ed
Oh,
Marcus.
the person this way.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, and that's my dad.
Yeah. Oh, that.
And then Walt was my uncle. I spent.
Stanley.